We all know that MrBeast and his team spent 24 hours in the Ohio State Penitentiary. But let me tell you a creepy background story about the venue. The Ohio State Penitentiary was a place of darkness and despair. A place where the most violent and dangerous criminals were sent to rot away in their cells. It was said that the walls of the prison were haunted by the ghosts of those who had died within its walls. Their spirits trapped forever in the cold, dark corridors. One night, a group of inmates were locked in their cells, trying to get some sleep before another long day of hard labor. Suddenly, they hear a strange noise coming from the cell next door. It sounded like a whisper or a faint voice calling out for help. The inmates tried to ignore it, telling themselves it was just their imagination, but the noise persisted, growing louder and more insistent. Finally, one of the prisoners couldn't take it any longer and called the guards out for help. The guards rushed to the cell, their keys jangling as they unlocked the door. They flung it open, expecting to find one of the inmates in distress. But what they saw was far more horrifying than anything they could have imagined. There, in the dim light of the cell, they saw a ghostly figure. Its pale, translucent skin stretched tight over its bones. Its eyes were empty sockets, and its mouth was open in a silent scream. The guards froze in terror, unable to move or speak. The ghostly figure floated towards them, its arms outstretched as if to embrace them. They could feel a cold, icy breath on their faces, and they knew that if it touched them, they would be doomed to join the ranks of the damned. With a surge of panic, the guards turned and ran, leaving the inmates to face the wrath of the ghostly figure alone. And as the inmates huddled in their cells, listening to the sounds of the ghost haunting the halls, they knew that they would never be able to escape the horrors of the Ohio State Penitentiary. On April 21, 1930, a fire broke out at the Ohio State Penitentiary in Columbus, Ohio. The fire started in the prison's laundry room and quickly spread throughout the building, engulfing the entire facility in flames. As the fire raged, the inmates were trapped in their cells, unable to escape the inferno. Reports say that as the smoke entered the building, the guards refused to unlock the cell blocks. There was nothing to do but to scream to God for help to open the doors.
Help! Help!
And when the doors didn't open, all was left was to stand still and let the fire burn the meat and hope that it won't be too long about it. Many of the inmates were burned alive, their screams echoing through the corridors as they were consumed by the fire. The guards managed to evacuate some of the prisoners, but many were left behind to die. When the fire finally burned itself out, the Ohio State Penitentiary was nothing but a charred, smoldering ruin. In the end, 322 inmates were killed in the fire and hospitalized another 230, making it one of the worst prison fires in American history. To this day, many people believe that the ghosts of those who died still haunt the ruins of the Ohio State Penitentiary, their spirits trapped forever in the ashes of the prison. Some say that on dark, moonless nights, you can still hear the faint screams of the victims, a haunting reminder of the tragic fire that forever changed the history of the Ohio State Penitentiary. Many stories have been proposed of what caused the fire, but no one knows for certain. Some say it was an act of arson, while others believe it was an accident. Whatever the cause, the fire at the Ohio State Penitentiary remains one of the most tragic and terrifying events in the history of American prisons. The ruins of the prison are now a popular spot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers who come from all over the country to try and catch a glimpse of the spirits that are said to haunt the site. Those who dare to venture into the abandoned prison at night claim to feel a chill down their spine, as if the ghosts of the past are watching them from the shadows. It is a place that is best avoided for those who value their sanity and their lives.